People were starting to say it's an East Coast, West Coast rivalry because it was people that's trying to make money. It was true people trying to make careers, it's people trying to get famous. Just that I don't want to be involved in stuff where it's negative stuff.
Hi, how do you do?
I need to talk to you.
Oh, okay, sorry.
This revelation feels like something straight out of a Hollywood thriller. Rumors are swirling that Suge Knight may have struck a secret deal with federal authorities. Insiders are suggesting that the man once regarded as the kingpin of West Coast rap is negotiating an arrangement that could shake the very foundations of hip-hop history. At the heart of it all is his longtime rival, Diddy, whose legacy is already crumbling under the weight of explosive allegations. But that's not all. Speculation also suggests that Suge might be implicating other major figures in the music industry, including Jay-Z, in exchange for a potential early release. If these rumors are true, it could be one of the most shocking betrayals the music world has ever witnessed.
It's a question of that, but when you read through the indictment, it's pretty clear who could be indicted as a co-conspirator. Right now, there are people in the indictment who would be considered unnamed co-conspirators, but clearly have played a role in this conspiracy. And I think prosecutors have some big leverage on them because they're hoping that they testify against Diddy as prosecution witnesses.
Suge Knight's position in this unfolding drama is nothing short of complex. The man who once aspired to rule West Coast rap is now serving a 28-year sentence for voluntary manslaughter following a 2015 incident in which a businessman was fatally injured. However, despite his stark fall from grace, it seems Suge is far from ready to fade into obscurity. According to sources, he's been quietly cooperating with investigators, providing shocking revelations about the darker side of the music industry. And it appears he's willing to implicate some of the biggest names in the business in exchange for a potential deal.
There's no punishment if they're protected by the road, the judge, the DA.
The timing couldn't be more intriguing. One of the most iconic figures in entertainment is currently caught in a whirlwind of legal troubles. Once hailed as a mogul who transformed Bad Boy Records into a cultural powerhouse, Diddy's empire is now under siege. He's facing charges that could potentially land him behind bars for the rest of his life. Federal raids on his properties earlier this year uncovered a trove of damning evidence. And the allegations against him have only grown more disturbing over time. With his reputation already in tatters, the last thing Diddy needs is Suge Knight feeding investigators more ammunition.
2 weeks ago, I'm outside my office. My assistant comes up and says, Suge Knight wants to speak to you from jail. I said, who? He said, Suge Knight. The Suge? Yes. Gotta be kidding me. No.
Suge, however, seems more than willing to provide that ammunition. In a recent jailhouse interview, he didn't hold back when discussing Diddy's legal troubles. While he expressed some sympathy for Diddy's family, particularly his children, Suge made it clear that he believes Diddy's downfall is far from an isolated incident. Puffy didn't get where he is by doing all those things in the allegations on his own. Suge said cryptically, implying that Diddy was both a product of his environment and an active participant in its darker elements. He even named names, pointing fingers at Clive Davis, Russell Simmons, and Jimmy Iovine, suggesting they may have influenced Diddy's actions. While Suge didn't outright confirm his cooperation with authorities, his comments have only fueled speculation that he's sharing far more behind closed doors than he's revealing publicly.
Well, that's the thing I'm gonna tell you. We from two different worlds, number one.
The feud between Suge Knight and Diddy is legendary, and it's impossible to separate their personal animosity from the larger East Coast versus West Coast rivalry that defined 1990s hip-hop. Suge's Death Row Records and Diddy's Bad Boy Records were at the center of this cultural war, and their rivalry was marked by public insults, diss tracks, and even violence. The tragic deaths of Tupac Shakur and the notorious B.I.G., two of the era's biggest stars, only deepened the hostility between the two camps. For years, rumors have circulated about Suge and Diddy's possible involvement in these tragedies, and although nothing has ever been proven, the shadow of those speculations continue.
Whoever. But I think as a man, anything you say once, you gotta be able to say twice.
Used to hang over both men. Suge Knight's motivations for potentially cooperating with investigators are as complex as the man himself. On one hand, he's a survivor,